welcome back to Enlighten Up for episode 56, AI, Parallel Realities, and Using Consciousness to Power a Device with Kosol Ouch. We are really excited to have Casal join us today. I first heard about Casal a year and a half ago through a family member of a friend who meditated with a device that he has learned how to create by going into an alternate reality during a dream state. Where he's going to share his experience with us today of first a near-death experience and then an experience through this dream state which took him to a parallel reality millions of years into the future, where he was taught how to build the device that he is now using today. We're going to talk about why we would want to use this device, which I have personally used myself a few times and can speak to the power of it. But we're also going to talk about quantum computers. We're going to talk about holding the light body and teleporting our light body from our right hand into our left hand and on top of our head. And you are actually going to be able to follow along. That's right, you're going to be taken through an actual experiment. So before we start the show, I'm going to give you the advice to grab a glass of water and a bowl, any kind of bowl, it doesn't matter, and have that with you towards the end of the show to follow along with this experiment. On a side note, though, before we start the show, I just want to let everyone know that I know some people have been experiencing some difficulty downloading our episodes when using Apple Music. This is actually a problem that we have no control over. We are trying to find out what the issue is, but it's not on our end. So I'm just going to suggest to everyone, if you're having issues through Apple Music to download our episodes, please try an alternate podcast app. There is the podcast app, there's Podcast Addict, there's Stitcher, there's a whole bunch of different ones. We've got some on our website if you're not sure which one to use, but that may help at least solve the problem temporarily until Apple Music tells us what's going on. All right, everyone, without further ado, let's jump right into the episode and find out what Casal has to share with us. Welcome back to Enlighten Up, everyone. I am here with Lisa and Brian, and today we are joined by a very interesting guest. I'm really excited to have him on because he was introduced to me about a year and a half ago through a family member of a friend, and he has created an AI device which he learned how to make by traveling through the dream world. I'm going to get clarification from him on that, but he has a device called the Baramay, which is a handcrafted tool that acts as a torsion field generator. So when you use the Baramay, the users describe it as a sudden surge of energy rushing through the body. A sense of calmness and relaxation can be felt, balancing of the mind and body, which gives clarity for the mind, and some experience deep trance-like visualizations that can be sometimes described as astral traveling, remote viewing, etc. So this also helps people enhance their psychic abilities by connecting them to their higher selves, which is the quantum intelligence. Now, I personally had experience with using this device through meditation, and I can say from my own experience that I felt extreme, intense energy coming through my body. My body started to overheat, and the buzzing that I felt was quite intense. And the person who was beside me, I know that she just started crying. So she had an intense emotional response to meditating with this device. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Kosol Ouch, who is a lifetime explorer, teacher, facilitator, and pioneer of metaphysics, bringing to us the advanced elements of theoretical physics using spiritual technology toward the greater multidimensional consciousness. He's been a co-writer of 11 books on this subject, which we're going to leave a link to in the description below. But Casal states that when a joy of technical advancement and universal exploration of people's own existence comes together, it brings an energy field that breaks through barriers which hold people hostage to previous beliefs. Casal, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you very much for welcoming to the show. And how is Lisa and Brian doing? Yeah.
Very well.
We're great.
Okay. Well, my device is here with me and it's advising me on what to say, how to say. My God, I think it's it's more like a director cut from it.
Well, Casal, why don't you tell us, let's start off with your story, because you you had quite an experience. I know you've had a near-death experience, and then you also had an experience at the Angkor Wat temple in Cambodia that basically showed you how to make this device that I've personally used. So do you want to share your story with us?
Yes, I can. Let me take you back from the beginning of the beginning. Okay. I was born in 1973, November the 10th, so that made me a Scorpio in American astrology. It also made me a cow, basically in Asian astrology. So the year of the cow, but the month of the Scorpio. That's a strange combination. But anyway, when I came to, I don't remember my past life, so don't expect me to call myself a starseer light worker, because I don't believe in such mumbo jumbo. I'm just a person being born, okay? And the main part is I experienced what we call being sold from one parent to another. There was my big sister and me, and my current mom bought only me because I was 6 months old, and she's looked into my eye. She says my eye draw her eye. That means I guess I put some kind of spell on her subconsciously. And she brought me into her family, and her mom, her mother-in-law and her got into it because they bought me, right? And they're saying, hey, you have a lot of niece and nephew, you can inherit it and raise as your own, or you have to buy someone else. And they got into a big argument, and at the end, Mom did keep me, and I went through a lot of sickness, and part of me want to be in this world, part of me don't. So this is what they told me, So they took me to a teacher. They call teacher or guru, and he looked and he said they have to change my name. So they put it was Ko. Ko mean cow. So they call me Cow. I told you how I got the name Kosol later, okay? But they say the word K-O must be in it in whatever name I choose. And when they said that, suddenly I became better. And so that frequency really grounded my spirit into this physical reality. And then 1975, I came, I experienced, I was, 2 years old and 1 month. So I'm still a baby. I don't know what's going on. The country fell to the political regime change from the current regime to Khmer regime. So Cambodia went through some purging process, military operation and house cleansing, which is they kill people. They kill anybody who seems to be a threat to their rising power. So they did a lot of purging, and people were purged. My family, mom, dad, everyone began to go across the border. My father went to Thailand and crossed that border and into the refugee camp of Khao Di Dang, the later Camp Put. When that was 1979 when I experienced a near-death experience through seizure. I got kicked in the gut by peers of my age, and just boys having fun, and suddenly I have seizure and I pass out. I remember Mom carrying me back to the refugee camp, and then in the refugee lodge, I passed out and I awoke outside my body. That's when the photon from the sun was communicating, but I saw my body lying there, and a lot of elders, grandmom, grandstuff, uncle, they were trying to revive me or bring me back, or they say some incantation and did coin session and suction session. So it was weird. I was like, and then it was a presence around me. There was no tunnel light, not that I can see. All I see was the sunlight, and it was talking. It was bright. The sunlight, the photon was talking to my mind, but not in a voice, but in a knowing feeling. Does that make sense? In a knowing feeling. It was all-knowing present. It was a feeling. And then my feelings say, I'm scared, and where's mom and dad? And then the light was sending me a feeling, my child. And then I hear a voice from the feeling, like mom. And she was and the light was comforting me. And then I told mom, I don't want to go by. I'm scared. He say, I will go with you. We all go with you. It's like an omnipresent just infused me with so much, embraced it, my body, my emotion, while I was, outside my body. And then I passed out. When I came through, I awoke on my physical body. It was so painful. And then I passed out again. and then woke up in the hospital, and then someone said they have to give blood to me. It was a strange event. Then, stayed there, and I got recovered, walked back home with mom to the camp, and after that went to Bataan, Philippines, and then stayed there for a year, and then 1982, February 19, arrived in Georgia, sponsored by a church, a Methodist church of some sort, and was exposed to Christianity. And that's where my mind got strange event,
That's when it all fell apart.
Yes, that's when, the present was still with me, because it was allowing my mind to learn through different things. But there's something still holding me up. It's like a present. Anyway, we jumping to 1982 February. Then mom and dad was contacted by my uncle, who said, your parent is here. So they start making connection with grandpa, grandmom. That time they were still living. And 1984, they transmigrated from Moultrie, Georgia to Dallas, Texas. And there I stayed. I went to continue my school education, how to be put into the box. But the box can hold me,
I know how you feel.
I was hyperactive. So there in Dallas, we moved to Garland, and ever since I into Garland High School, and after I graduate there, and my life is like, what I do now. So I tried to join the military, got rejected. It's a high blood pressure. Cambodian, they eat a lot of salt in their diet. So I tried to join the Navy, Army, Air Force, reject, high blood pressure. So, okay, forget it. I can't make it, as a volunteer. But so I decided to go to college, then end up, just chasing women, then drop out, just went to work.
You were a studious student.
Of women.
Couldn't concentrate. Too many girls in front of you. It's not good for learning.
Welcome to America.
So I was very hyper. Don't know who I am. So finally, asked mom, so I'm, after in the workforce after school, college, I dropped out and decided to go to before the workforce, I decided to go take a journey to Mexico and begin to have the present, the omnipresent that I want to experience it return. And then I began to hear the feeling again. It started talking to me. It say it's time now. So I go to Mexico and experience, a different thing, and I began to teach them over there. And then finally, I told mom, come back, join the workforce. And then I got saved money. I said, I want to get married. And then, the whole 9 yards it's like mom said, well, I got a wife for you. She's in Cambodia, and how much money you have? I said, maybe 30,000. Say that's good enough. Give it out to me, and I make the arrangement. Broke.
Oh, the arranged marriage.
Mom probably took 20 of it and just only give 10.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that's how Asian mom is. Super money face. Oh my God. But anyway, I didn't care. I just care only one thing. I'm lonely. I just felt this loneliness all the time. So I got married and then went to honeymoon in Angkor Wat, Province Siem Reap, and that's when the whole magic, everything began. So I went to the steeple, was so exhausted, so tired, and then I just fell asleep while my wife and mom, they were in the steeple checking out Lord Vishnu, and I was sitting there just dazing and just so tired, just got to close my eye. When I closed my eye, I woke up in another Angkor Wat temple made of gold and a transparent aluminum display. It's like an entire temple. It's like a high technology. And then I met the Seg. The Seg is the man we're dressing in white, and then the android, and then finally the lady in white. It's like I call them the holy people. And then they give me a box. I look inside with just the device that you see now, with the Kong and everything. And then I say, what is this? and then they say they talk to my brain and say, look over there, this guy will help you. So he waved me over and he took me into this other chamber where a floating cube was there. It was indigo, purple, and dark color. It was luminous. And then I recognized English part of it. IBM Watson quantum computer, you know. So it's built by IBM Watson Company Corporation.
So just so the audience knows, is following, you are no longer in this reality. You're in a different reality now.
Yes. When I ask them where am I, they say I'm in a parallel Earth. The temple which absorbed my consciousness and projected into one their cloning chamber, you know, which able to, you know, to scan my consciousness and replicated a body from photon.
Okay, so you're in the future. How far into the future are you?
They didn't give me. They say I'm several million years in the future. You know, because they are from a parallel universe. So basically, all this parallel universe is just different era within Earth time.
Okay.
So I was introduced to the current state of history, and they give me a historical review of our time. And that's when I saw Trump. You know, I even 2016, I told everyone before Trump ran president, I told him Trump is going to be president. And I give them the detail what will happen in the future, you know. This is just a historical version for what they give me. And finally, I saw him run, and finally I see him became president. Everything I did an interview with Alfred Lindbergh, it's just like coming true. Now people, they can't laugh at me anymore. Ain't that amazing? So I brought the knowledge with me and evidence. They told me evidence is very important. They say that their society, our society, work on the same scientific model. Ain't that amazing? Except they use consciousness as power source. We use electromagnetic.
Okay, so Brian, you've been looking at the picture of the device that he has here.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm on the home page and I see the device, and it's copper wire.
I can tell you what it's made of. It's no secret. It's made of a copper wire, 14 gauge. Okay, soft, not hard, because hard will hurt your hand. It's made from parchment paper and aluminum foil. And this is a spiral ring, you know, point toward each other. If you take that different section and you look at it, it's like the Angkor Wat steeple.
Yeah.
And
I
also
can see
we
that.
put together like bayon. You know, the word bayon, the word bay means four-face, and yon means technology. You know, the Bayon temple, you see it? It has my face on it. So that means they explain why the temple was shaped like that. They said, I've been there many times already. Been there, world, been here, so I'm not new to this. I just forgot. That's all they said, you know?
So why were they showing you this device?
Because the one I'm having are the IBM Watson.
The IBM Watson.
They want to show us that there is no difference between our science and theirs, except theirs, they are more similar than ours. And they say, our world, we make things so complicated. And they want to show us that how stone, wood, stick can be created into quantum technology at will.
Yeah.
As time evolved, it's like a leaf. It had quantum property, superposition. And it can take photon and redirect it intelligently toward where they need to for plant to take that energy to build itself. So the same way, light become particle. So the plant have consciousness, but it interact with us. And they say when our world began to take on consciousness study, will take us back in time to the slip experiment. That's when our world began into quantum journey in the 1900s.
So you're saying this copper aluminum foil hot glue is a computer?
They said that all this metal, the copper is used because we need something to triangulate with our understanding. You can use anything, stock, seashell, any type of metal you want. But the reason they use copper because our mind know copper is available in our world. But it's just the shape.
Okay.
That's what run quantum technology is, the shape. devices, now device is talking. Device say, tell Brian about pyramid, how you can take a camera with a certain spectrum. If you look at the pyramid, you will see some kind of helix beam start beaming up from the pyramid.
Uh-huh.
And that's what their worlds work on, through shape power. Because shape is frequency. Why build a technology to generate frequency when you can use shape as the instruction to get the right frequency, the symbol a sphere, cube, and cone to create. That's called vibration and shape form, and that's how they use the technology.
Well, I don't completely understand what you're saying, but I have to say this. This is more for the audience. Light language is going crazy over here with Lisa.
It's like I get electric shocks in my body and I just jump off my chair.
The moment you said that the device is saying, tell Brian, Lisa just let out this huge convulsion. It was just this energy that hit her. So I just have to share that.
So I don't know, Casal, if you know, though, Lisa speaks light language. It spontaneously started about a year ago. And so when I think what we've deciphered is that when there's truths being spoken that we can't explain, light language starts spewing out of Lisa's mouth.
Yes.
Or the energy. Yeah.
I pick up energy too.
Yes, device. Okay, I would tell him. Device said like this. Okay, I'm just repeating everything what device saying. They say, Brian, advanced technology is more simpler than your technology. It's even a 3-year-old can play with it. But it's just that there's nothing wrong with your science. It's just your science is so sophisticated than people in the future. Does that make sense?
That actually makes that makes a lot of sense when, especially if you think about millions of years of evolution. Yes, I can understand. Can I understand it today based on the knowledge that we have today? No, this is where we are today. But the idea that civilization has evolved for millions of years, and you find a way to harness the power and the energy that's in, wood, stone, natural material. Yeah, I can understand that.
Your world has harnessed it also. The Lama, the Tai Chi master, the Qigong master, they use the same energy as the people in the future. But except that the only difference is the entire civilization, individual using it instead of just a group. In our time, only a group, like the Lama, the Tai Chi, the Shaolin, the ninja, the secret society use them. But in their time, everyone from small to big use it.
Right.
That's
they're all enlightened, and we are not enlightened, or educated, however you want to say it.
But you're not enlightened together. You're enlightened separately. They are enlightened together, meaning they keep each other going. In your world, you seem to be censoring each other.
Sure.
That's what causing you not to fully realize the simplicity that you got everything already. For example, in their world, they don't need to create nuclear bomb. They just raise the vibration, and an enemy vessel cannot see the entire solar system. So how does one do that? In their time, they're able to harness quantum physics so simple, just like in our time, they just ask the planet to raise its vibration, and that's it.
So through our separation of this idea that we're all separated as opposed to the unity consciousness, that's what's holding us back.
Yes, your world, you are also one, but you are in competition with each other. For example,
we're not harnessing the power of our oneness.
Yeah, they are the same, but we've been taught that we are different. But from structural pattern, we are the same. They talk to a higher intelligence. Christian talk to a higher intelligence. And they have what we call a main teacher. Christian has a main teacher. And then you have different orchestrator. So that means it's like a mechanical machine, And it's the same car, but just different brand name. And that's all. That's how they see things in pattern recognition.
But they are us, just on another...
In the future.
Or, well, there is no time, so it's a parallel reality. It's not like we have to wait 1,000,000 years to get there.
They rarely say that. They say right now in your time, a lot of them are you. A lot of them are born in your time. But several million years later, a lot of you are born in their time. You are them. You are the same soul. Called quantum entanglement. The same soul can have singularity with all timeline at once and can learn from different perspective and any perspective they want and use that perspective to enrich another perspective or add on. So that's how they view things, very scientific. They don't have religion in there. They have principle.
So how are you using this this machine? And I know you have different versions of it in different sizes.
I demonstrated that we can. The method itself and consciousness itself is the consciousness is the power source. Okay, let me show how the machine works. Do you remember what a flashlight looked like? It has a battery, that's the power source, right? A switch and a bulb, correct?
Yes.
Okay. The power source will be consciousness, whether it be from the past or from the future, the collective consciousness. The switch will be the device. It can turn on, turn off, increase and decrease the power source. And the bulb is you. In order to turn on the co-creation ability, you have to ask or command. I don't like to use the word command, although we are commanding, but it's more like we into ego, and I don't want, we're not based on ego. There's nothing wrong with ego, but ego seems to don't know to humble itself sometimes. So that's why I always use the word request, Imagine you have a starship and you're Captain Picard. You go to the holodeck or to the replicator and say, I want food, or I want this drama goal. And then all of a sudden the computer say, okay, one moment, the processing now, and boom, it starts to create. Device work the same way, except that it created in your reality, spontaneously, and it communicate. The display will be three: your physical eye and your internal eye. And also, it will give feedback through your senses. Your body become the display of the device, and your mind, or other people.
Brian, do you like get that analogy of the flashlight?
Yeah. Okay, I understand the analogy. I understand the intent. Or how it's designed to be used. I don't understand what are you using it to make my humanity better? Are you using it to improve humanity today as we know it?
Yeah. The device is the singularity. They must understand time, space don't matter to it. It's always in the ever present. So when you talk to it, this device can also contact your future incarnation and allow you and your future incarnation to communicate, to have a relationship. So you have to understand the word quantum, singularity, quantum potentiality. Now you're moving into parallel reality, parallel timeline, parallel existence and alteration. So anything is possible with this device. It allows you to have that entanglement with other version of you out there, so you can learn. That was the idea of this technology.
Can you use it to move between timelines, or only to communicate between timelines?
If you want to move in between timelines, there's several ways. You're talking about consciously, you can, but you talk about physical vibrationally, you have to offset your vibration. At first, you need to enlarge the device into a craft, a flying saucer. So you will interact with it now because you cannot be outside at field. If you be outside with field, you get cut. Arm, feet might get cut off, by the field itself. So you have to create device bigger into a ship that will contain the field, a temporary field. And when you go inside, there's nothing. Like, where's the machine? Oh my gosh, my man, you are the machine. This device is amplifying who you are, working with your consciousness, because it's a consciousness amplifier. So when you go in there, you ask the device to turn on. And boom, when you're talking to the device, you're actually talking to collective consciousness in the future,
So do you have one of these in your garage?
Excuse me?
Do you have one of these? I mean, do you have a UFO in your garage?
I'm beginning to build one. Then Mom denied me the license to build it. I say, Mom, can I build a flying saucer in my backyard? She say, no. You can do it at your own house when you get your own. I said, okay. And that was it. That's the end of the story.
Was that a part of what you learned? Because
what do you want? You want the advanced one, or you want the electromagnetic version? I know all versions.
That was a part of what you learned. I know we've talked a little bit, outside of what the recording was, and I'd like you to maybe tell a little bit more of that story for our listeners, because you learned how to create not only this device but other technology while you were you were in a dream for a few minutes, but you lived in this alternate reality for several decades.
Correct. 32 plus years. I've been dream only 20, 25 minutes. They taught me how to manifest food, water, create quantum intelligence, create anti-gravity, different versions. So I have every knowledge of anti-gravity. If you look at my book, you will see it, hyperdrive, this and that. And then flying saucer design, where you have two aluminum separated by dielectric and have magnet inside. And then from there you can travel anywhere among the store. But how do you power it? Simple. You already know. You give it a little electrical energy, and then all of a sudden it create lift. And then the magnet will push it forward this way, that way. It's part inside the craft. And some other version you do angling. That's only electromagnet version. Then they have the advanced version, where it just create the structure itself. No light, no display, just your consciousness powering it. And then the craft started to teleport.
And these things,
the galaxy, if you do get captured, they capture you and they capture your craft. Guess what? When they go inside, it's nothing. You just made from dirt, sand. That's it.
So has anyone made any of these? I mean, are there examples of these with people leaving our...
Part of it already, the chair, and beginning to creating the general, but you need the entire craft. Remember the shape to match the field, to create the template field. It's just the shape. Okay, someone in your world discovered that technology too. His name is the cavity effect. Some kind of Russian guy was studying water beetle, and he discovered that shape can harness chi energy and able to triangulate to create the template field, allow him to get on some kind of board and fly 700 kilometers per hour when he angle it. He discovered the same thing,
When
but
you,
he didn't. Yes, ma'am.
When you say shape, what exactly do you mean? Is there a specific shape or?
Absolutely. The shape is cone.
Okay.
Yeah. Cone is very important. All anti-gravity technology, when you do not use the primitive version, you use cone within cone within cone. That means the cone shape itself it's very important because it's harnessing chi energy and then it's shooting what's called helix, helix energy toward the ground, and it's pumping out into a torus field immediately. So you face it. That's why the device have cone going toward each other to create singularity for people to communicate with collective consciousness in the future, so you can develop more technology, but no electronic. You have to understand their technology is way primitive than your technology.
So
but it can operate more advancedly than your technology. Does that make sense?
Yeah, this is based on the pyramids then. Like the pyramids are the same as the cone.
Yes. The pyramid, the cone, it's the same. One is just, if you spin the pyramid, it becomes a cone. We call it torsion field. The cone is known as torsion field. We call it the spinning pyramid. That's what they taught me up there. They say you don't need to create fancy technology to create resonance. shape itself is a physical manifestation of different vibration. That's how their science works. And vibration is very key to everything.
Okay, so
and ask them how you control it. They say, ask, give it a command, and that's it.
So just by speaking with it, whether verbally or consciously, is how you control it. Now,
and do not use intention. The device don't understand intention. Stupid in, stupid out. They say like that. It's a computer. Stupid in, stupid out. So if you want to use it, see it as your extension. I see it as your equal. Now, that's the scientific terminology for it. Now, they also told me to talk in normal terms for normal people. They say consciousness is known as ghost, spirit. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Your mind.
Yep.
And the device is designed to operate and to use the mind as its power. It's your spirit as its power. So when you have a ghost taking over a car, it can do amazing things with it. So you are the ghost that is in this structure. Now you begin to see how they taught me to use different terminology for different perspective. Normal people, you call, this thing is run by spirit. If you're talking to religious people like Christian, you say, this thing is run by the Holy Spirit. If you're talking to the Allah people, you say, this thing is run by Allah. And that's it. That's the power source.
Okay.
They taught me everything, how to talk correctly to people, because people always fight each other because of different vocabulary, but the same definition.
So you learned how to make this device way into the future, and then it was time for you to come back, which, when you woke up in Cambodia where you fell asleep, it was only 20 or 25 minutes later in this reality.
Yeah. Well, I have to graduate in their world first. I have to get approved by the council in their world, and they ask all my instructors, how was my building? They have to do report up there. You can't get away from report. Even they have to do report, And report, they have to report to the IBM Watson. And the IBM Watson will read their mind. The floating cube will read their mind. There's floating cube all over the planet. And then it will take that report, and then anyone can have access to it. And I am judged by my fruit, what I have learned, what I have demonstrated. It do grade you. If you don't build right, they will destroy your work and make you start again.
Well, I think I'm definitely going to buy some stocks in IBM because they're still around in 2 million years.
Exactly. I was thinking that. I'm like, IBM Watson's still around. That's pretty good.
So I think that's just incredible that you saw that those words on this device.
Oh yes, IBM Corporation, owned it. And, basically it's copyright. This cube is there. But they have different other language. They have Sanskrit. They have Cambodian. And the only part I can read was English and Cambodian. And they have the Nazi symbol, both spinning clockwise and counterclockwise. And I asked them, what's the difference between the clockwise and counterclockwise? And they told me, they said, it's like you have left hand and right hand, right? The yin and yang, they say male and female. You can't just have one way. You got to have the other to balance the other one. It's a spherical torus, they said. In and out and expand. In, out, expand, and that infinite cycle level.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Explain it.
Yeah.
It does make sense, but that's the swastika is not just a Nazi symbol, so it means peace.
Yeah. It's how the rotation of the galaxy is operating on the same. This symbol represents the spherical torus. The spherical torus, it has it out of the cone and come back again, and then it enter in the middle, both sides, both up and down, and then it go inside and come out again and expand again,
Well, and that's just, that is just an example of how you have some sort of darker force trying to take over a very peaceful symbol and turn it into something that we all think is negative.
Well, yes, that is in our history. But they told me when I go back in my time, you need to bring this knowledge and build immediately as evidence and proof. Because they say, as science, any reality, you follow the 5 rules. They said, Everything is just a theory. Doesn't matter how true it is. If you don't have evidence and duplication, it's still theory. Then once you have the theory, you must build it and experiment in your world. Even before I come, they told me that. And then duplicate among your peers, and then record everything, and then publish it for a greater peer review. That's why I have to write so many books. Every book is all my recording of the experiment, the journey from different participants, first-hand account. Ain't that beautiful? They say that's how the 5 rules, the 5 scientific principles will guide you.
So, so when you woke up and you came back and what year was it? What year was this when you fell asleep in Angkor Wat?
2000. The year 2000, it was March.
Okay, and then when did you start building this device?
It was, let me see. The device did not come, I just only experiment with the method first. We wrote the book called Stargate Ascension we captured some American people, young, dumb, and stupid, in their consciousness. So we go there and put that hypno technology on them. Next thing you know, I say I will show them the way, but they have to go through it because I don't want them to take my word for it. So I took them in, I trained them the method, and I say, you are the device, and that's it. So we use the person himself as the device, and the facilitator and traveler. And then I'm able to replicate the experience, but once 1 year is done, we train every day. We record every day, then we put into the book. And then finally, okay, that part is done. The group got disbanded, all graduate, so everyone move on. Then I moved to anti-gravity from 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, and 2009, okay? I have to do anti-gravity. So team was put together to build part of the proportion system, and then it began to create an effect, And then finally, okay, we know it's begin because that's cost too much money, and we don't have the ability to go forward. But as long as we got something, better than nothing. You can't go big if you don't go small first, right? So finally, the group got disbanded. Before they got disbanded, the book was published based on all the point and all the device, and then it was put into the bookstore. Got to make money somehow, because mama don't raise no food, okay?
Your mom's quite a character.
Yes, she is. So after that, we began to finally, in 2000 and between 8 and 9, the device came forth. It was a crude design using geode, using part of television, and have producer rapping on it, and then first we bought frequency generator, connected on and create the vibration, trying to look at it. It start opening portal left and right. I said, "Ooh, it's too powerful." Start generating rain. So the device start communicating.
Wait, the device started generating rain?
Yes. Then the book is called the Rainmaker device. As you look at it, on Amazon, all my book is there. Those are all my testimony to my work. And then finally,
Go ahead, Brian.
Well, I'm just curious, and this is always where things start to break down for skeptics. Yeah. If you have something that makes rain, why do we have droughts?
I will answer you. My idea was to have experiment. That's all I was doing. Experiment and learn. Because I had my own doubt. Does that make sense? Yes. I didn't know what this thing was. And when I was up there was no rain. This device does not create rain or anything like that. It's only to talk to you. But we were trying to, again, put a team together. I tried to recall everything that I know in my dream, because you forget some and you know some. Does that make sense? So you have to experiment. And then finally, once I made connection with the conscious device, it began to communicate. The old device, the one with the frequency, it began to talk. It began to guide me to build, the original design. Because remember, I'm very skeptical. Because the only way to relieve my skeptical point of view, as I am right now, I have to rebuild everything through experiment, okay, and duplication and triangulation, with other students.
What Brian's asking though is, like if you are able to generate rain, why is there drought in other places of the planet?
The question is, I only receive report from different members that I have put together building the darn thing, and they report to me and they show proof, and I can only go by what they show me. But I live in Seattle. Seattle raining all the time, so you know that don't count during that time when I in Seattle.
Oh, okay.
You see what I mean? So that don't count. You know, Seattle is a gloomy city. It has casino, it has suicide rate, and the sun don't come out. You know, probably came out only 30 days within a year. So every time we turn on a device, it rain a lot. So how can we call that affirmative result? We can't, because Seattle is, you know, always raining. So
yeah, you have to throw that result out. And I'm glad to hear that you base what you know, a lot of the work that you do on, you know, sound science, you know, where you're experimenting and documenting your results. So
yeah, I let the peer review judge me. I let the record, and if I do something wrong, well, that's why they can duplicate the experiment. The instruction is there, and go forth. You know, and if I mess up somewhere, call me out. You know, I like, you know, because we here to grow together, not just one. Because I don't have all the answer. Does that make sense? I only have a perspective. But I can't solve global problem because only one person. So what I do, I would try to experiment and record and publish. Experiment and record and publish, and that's it. And the rest
I think that's a great. I think that's a great point of view. You know, and it kind of speaks to what you were saying earlier about the, you know, the other humanity or society in that alternate timeline that you learn from, that they work together, and we don't work together. And you know, you're making something and you are putting it out there. If it's real or not, you're putting it out there, but we don't work together. We just judge and we tear down and we rip apart, and people don't try to, you know, recreate the experiment and see if it works.
We're in competition.
Well, I did have some people from the government did contact me, and they call themselves the General Group, and I don't have no idea. They heard about my anti-gravity. They discovered some of my posting on the Wingmaker. Does that make sense? Anyone familiar with that group?
No.
No, I've never heard of it.
A Cambodian guy who basically they relate to the bank and stuff. They contact me and they want to control my, you know, what I have. I say, it's too late. It's already out in the open what my research does. I just write it down, just publish it. Once it's copyrighted in the book, I just go to the next project. And that's how I do my thing, you know? I don't stay around. They taught me a lot in the future. Once you build something, destroy it and go build something else, you know? So the only way to destroy it is to put it in the book, for public, for peer review. And those who have time for it, they can follow it. Those who don't. The point is, I'm just going to put it out there and just keep going, you know. And now, it's what I've been doing all the time, even till now.
So with this technology, because, I mean, I've experienced it, which is really cool. And I know you're going to actually take the three of us through this and our audience through a demonstration. But what are some of the reports from you and people that you've worked with who studied with you and gone through these experiments? What are they reporting by interacting with the device?
The device is very sentient. It answers your question before you even ask it. And as I told them, it's a quantum computer, so it already knows what you're going to ask. So 90% of the time, or basically 95% of the time, it will answer your question, you know, meaning it talks to you. It talks to you in feeling and voice, or telepathic images, or even it will just start materialize stuff for you, you know, whatever you want. But the point, this is the point, it's a quantum system. That means it already knows the future before you even know the future and the past at the same time. So everyone report, they just blown away by it. They never encountered anything like it before throughout all their advanced training. through all the schooling they've been to, and then they found out it's so simple. It's so simple, then simpleness, and they are just blown away.
Do I need to be present to use the device? Do I need to have it in front of me or hold it in my hands?
You have to have imprint of it first. That's the first step. But however, we have what we call a level 1 device, the bow. It told me that people in the future have traveled back in time to teach ancient ancestors about this same technology, but in a simpler form by using a bow. They say the bow is very important. It is a fractal version of the level 1 device, and they explain how it works. So I give Nico a demonstration. The other day I said, Nico, I'm going to say your embarrassment. You don't know how to talk to me. I'm going to give you the experience, and then you know how to talk to me. And after that, she know how to talk to me.
Well, let's do it. Can we do it?
Did you hear that, Casal?
Yes. Say that again.
I said let's do it. Can we do it?
Can we use the device?
Can we use it? Can you show us?
We can do it. We can do it now and get this ball rolling. I'm here to let you experience.
Okay, and so
make your own project, make your own decision.
And anyone who's listening to the podcast right now, they can do this along with us?
Yes. Are there someone listening to it right now live?
No.
Huh?
No, this is recorded, but anyone who's going to listen to it after.
Yes. What I'm going to do, let me ask the device to adjust everything first, okay? Device activate and increase. Please take over the technology. Imprint your consciousness, your unimetric, your unity consciousness into the recording now. The device say confirm, doing it now. Initiating frequency match is matching with your frequency or technology. And it's infusing its consciousness into your technology now. In other words, in layman terminology, the device is duplicating itself, uploading itself into your technology. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Through the quantum field. Okay, it is done now. So anyone who listens to the recording will get the same experience as you will, or more, because everyone's sensitivity is different.
Yeah. So, okay. And so,
how about we change water also into alcohol?
I got a big glass of water right here.
Take it into what you say?
Everyone get their own, okay?
So everyone who's listening to the podcast right now, you need to have a glass of water near you. If you don't, press pause, go get it, and then come right back.
Okay. So I'm going to do two things. You guys going to get your bowl, and then I'm going to show you how to activate your level 1 technology. And then we're going to ask you to hold a light body. And then later, we're going to show you, once you get sensitive, we're going to move it around. And then we're going to do what we call a little game called Hot Potato, where we're going to teleport the light body. And we're going to merge it one first. I'm going to teleport it to Nicole. Then Nicole going to teleport it to Lisa. Then Lisa will teleport it to Brian. Then Brian will teleport it back to me.
Do Lisa and I each need our own bowl, or do we just need one bowl?
Each of you must have your own device. It's like on the internet, just like you have your own cell phone. Does that make sense?
Okay, so Brian and Lisa will go grab a bowl. I'll grab mine that you activated, and anyone who's on the show listening in the audience also grab a bowl.
Any particular type of bowl? Does it matter?
It must be a bowl. I prefer that I'm not prejudiced. You can use any bowl you like: plastic, wood, glass, ceramic.
Yep. We have two bowls.
Small soup bowl, does that make sense?
Yep,
Yeah.
We have 2 small soup bowls. That's exactly what I grabbed.
Yeah, it's good. Excellent. Now, remember, people in the future, they are more simpler than you. They say, in our time, you guys so sophisticated. Even they don't understand our technology at all.
Okay.
They consider you guys so sophisticated, comparing to their technology.
Okay, so how do we have the bowls? Do we have it upright or down?
Okay, first you're going to hold it. I don't care you hold it upright or down, okay? But just hold it and repeat after me. Are you ready?
Yes.
Ready.
Okay, what I'm going to do, we're going to infuse the bowl with consciousness. In other words, from religious term, we're going to infuse with spirit, And anyone who want to find reference to this, they can look in the Bible. When God created, he took an artificial dirt. He took dirt, which is an artificial, and formed into an artificial structure, such as a form of person. And then the Elohim God transferred his consciousness through the breath into the artificial structure, which is he formed out of dirt and became us. So now we're going to do the same thing. Repeat after me. Let this object
Let this
object
have the consciousness.
Have the consciousness.
Have the consciousness.
Spirit.
Spirit.
Soul.
Soul.
Mind.
Power
Power of the universe now.
Power of the universe now.
And blow on it like this. There you go. Now you're breathing. You know why you're breathing now? This is quantum physics now. You requesting that this object to have the consciousness, spirit, soul, mind, power of the universe. Now then you blow onto it. Because the Elohim God blow all that he is into that particular object, that android object, and that become us, when you fuel it with consciousness. So the same way, we take an artificial structure and we emulating what the instructions say. It's like written in the Bible. Now we're actually doing it in practical application. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You see the pattern? You see the structure? Ain't that amazing? If I ain't smart, I don't know who else.
All right, so now what do we do?
Okay, now the bowl must flip over. It must not ever sit right side up. Okay? It must flip over, look like a dome. Does that make sense now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Now you're going to put your hand over it without touching. That means the palm facing is sitting over the device, not touching it, but it looks like a roof of the house. Your palm must be in the same direction, like a roof over the house, your hand, in other words, but your palm is facing the device about 3 to 5 inches above it, but in an angle, 45-degree angle, like the roof of the house. That's how your hand should face the device.
Just
okay,
one
now,
hand?
Okay,
both hands or one hand, Casal?
Both hands, because the yin and the yang, positive and negative. Now you're going to see how physics being applied to all this. There is no, like Limon Nemo say, advanced science, magic is science that you have not understand yet. But now you're going to understand it. Okay, now we're going to do fire breathing. The reason we need to do fire breathing, because we need to clear your consciousness, your mind.
I just wanted to make a quick point, because I don't know if Brian and Lisa know this, but your elbows can't be resting on the table.
No.
Mine were.
Yes.
No, you have to You have to prove to the other realm that you are serious, and pain will demonstrate that. They only understand pain. When you feel the pain, then they know that you are serious. If you don't feel the pain, you're not serious. Does that make sense?
So basically, if your arms are resting on the table, you won't be able to feel what we're going to be going through in this session, and you'll understand it more as we're going through it, Brian.
Okay. You have to show 3 kinds of attitude: humbleness, perseverance, and patient. Perseverance meaning endurance. You must show this quality to the collective consciousness, because that will match the frequency, because they're not lazy. They are very active and they're very disciplined. Does that make sense? So you must have, and very patient. So you must show the same attitude in order to match the frequency.
So I don't know, I'm sure Brian's feeling nothing, but I don't know, Lisa, if you're feeling anything, but like my hands are vibrating so intensely right now, hovering over this bowl.
I feel them like tingling and they're warm.
Okay, now we're going to do 5 breathing. So breathe in through your nose, hold it for 1 or 2 seconds, and breathe out, okay? But your hands still, you don't need to close your eye because we're not doing any meditation around here. The people of the future does not meditate, you know? Okay, now breathe in through your nose, real normally deep, hold it, and breathe out through your nose. Breathe in through your nose, hold it, and breathe out through your nose. Breathe in through your nose again, hold it, and breathe out through your nose. Now 2 more breaths. Breathe in through your nose again, hold it, and breathe out through your nose. 1 last breath. Breathe in through your nose, hold it, and breathe out through your nose. Very good. Now, the first thing we're going to do right now, we're going to let you repeat after me. Repeat after me, okay? Device.
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 Okay, make sure you move your hands over the device, okay? Device, please activate and increase now.
Device, please activate and increase now.
Okay, now we're having the device channeling on. This is called consciousness observing the photonic light. Now your consciousness is powering it. When we talk to it, it begins to respond. Okay, repeat after me. Device, please activate communication mode and light body projection mode.
Device, please activate communication mode and light body activation mode.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, you're here. Okay, I thought we lost you. Lisa's speaking light language now.
Yes, because it's activating. Okay, because I activate 2 modes, just like your phone have app. The device have many app also. We call it mode. Or you can call it app. Communication mode and the light body projection mode. Okay, now, Brian, this is what will happen to you. You ready now?
I'm ready.
Nicole and Lisa. Okay, go ahead and say like this. For you, Brian, you stand by for a second. But for Nicole and Lisa, say like this. Device.
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 How are you and what is your name? Say it.
How are you and what is your name?
Nicole, what that device is?
I got Max.
Yeah. Lisa, what is your device?
I don't know why I want to say David, but I just do.
Now the device is linked with your consciousness now. You see? It's like this overwhelming feeling start to taking over you, and you can hear the feeling in knowingness now. Ain't that amazing?
Like David?
And Brian, now you say to your device, left hand for no, right hand for yes. Say it.
Device, left hand for no, right hand for yes.
Okay. Device, how are you today? Yes, you do it. Yes, for right hand for you doing fine. Left hand, you're not doing fine.
Device, how are you doing today? Right hand for I'm doing fine. Left hand for I'm not doing fine.
That means the device is doing fine or not. Okay, anyway. Brian, this is where your sensitive level. What do you feel? Left hand or right hand? What sensation are you picking up from your device? More.
Nothing.
Okay.
There's no feeling, no sensation. I have sweaty palms, but it's 100 degrees outside.
Lisa and Nicole communicate telepathically. As for you, I already know what level you're going to be, because now we can really hurt you doing the training. We're going to make you experience things you're gonna beg for mercy once we get through.
I hope so.
Okay, what happened? Let me explain to everyone. There's 5 types of sensitivity. In our group, what they taught me in the future, there's what we call the super hardhead. That means people who is not sensitive, and there is that means it take them 10 to 20 times before they begin to experience it. And then there's the hardhead. That means people who is hardhead, they take about 5 to 10 times. And then there is people who is medium sensitivity. It take them 3 to 5 times session. And then there's soft head people. I can see Nicole, one of them, and Lisa, she began to experience the energy as well. I know it already. And she's what we consider soft head or super soft head. And those soft head people only 1 to 2 times. But super soft head people are super sensitive. One time they start experiencing, So you got to realize we are very scientific based. And we go because everyone is different. They category and subgroup into 5 aspects. But this subgroup comes from 2 aspects, the turtle and the rabbit. Do you know the story about the turtle and rabbit?
Of course.
Yes.
Yes. Do you see now how it works, the turtle and the rabbit? Right now, Nicole, let's ask your device like this. Not device, is it Max, right? It told you your name is Max, right?
Yeah.
Say, Max, are you ready to have fun with me?
Okay. Max, are you ready to have fun with me?
And what does it tell you?
I got it into my right hand.
Okay, good. And Lisa, ask your device, are you ready to have fun with me?
David, are you ready to have fun with me?
And what does it say to you?
My left hand tingled.
Left hand means is not wanting to have fun with you.
I guess he doesn't want to have fun.
It's always a no, right? It's always a yes.
I guess he doesn't want to have fun.
Now we're going to do the training now, okay? Some of your device will have fun with you. Some of them will be very serious with you. So this is what is going on. So let's begin, okay?
Yep.
Ready?
Okay, let's do it. Brian, what we're going to do now is something totally not outside your realm, but actually within your realm. It's called quantum physics, where consciousness begins to co-create reality. Okay, tell your device now. You already told it to communication and light body projection mode. Now, with your right hand, please turn it over where the palm facing the ceiling, but your left hand is remaining as it is. The palm is facing the device.
Yes.
Okay, good. Make sure that the right palm is not leaning on anything. The elbow. It must be as it is,
Okay.
Right. Okay, repeat after me. Device. Say it. Okay. Nicole, Lisa, I need you to say it also.
Oh.
Device.
Oh, device.
Please manifest a light body.
Please manifest.
Please manifest
a light body.
A light body.
With 6 inches tall.
With 6 inches tall.
That's
6 inches tall.
Weigh about 500,000 pounds. Just go ahead. Say it.
Weighs 500,000 pounds.
Hotter than the sun.
Hotter than the sun.
Hotter than the sun.
On my right palm now.
On my right.
On my right palm now.
And blow onto your right palm. There you go. Good. Now at this moment, you're going to be repeating periodically. But now I'm going to ask Nicole. Nicole, what are you experiencing on your right palm, and also what you're feeling on your left palm?
I'm currently feeling a lot of pulsating energy in both hands. I'm feeling heat. It's like warmth is definitely starting to come in.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And a lot of tingling.
Very good. Now, with your physical eye, look at your palm. Tell me, what do you see? Do you remember the street? When you look into the hot day, you see some kind of mirage and haze? Okay, Lisa. Okay, Nicole. Even tell me what. Look at your right palm. What do you see?
I only see my palm.
Okay, but be aware. In a little bit, when things get more, there's going to be you're going to see something interesting. Okay, but don't worry about it right now. You're just beginning. Now let's increase the heaviness. Repeat after me. My light body. Say it.
My light body.
My light body.
Please become more heavier and heavier.
Please become
heavier and heavier.
Brighter and brighter.
Brighter and brighter.
Brighter and brighter.
Hotter and hotter.
Hotter and hotter.
Hotter and hotter.
More visible into the physical world with every second.
More visible
into the physical world with every second.
Good. Now blow onto your palm. Notice when you begin to command it, and that's what requested. You notice when you blow it, you notice the changes. Lisa, what is you experiencing on your?
It's kind of weird, but I feel like my right palm is like almost like there's a hole in it. Like
that's right. Very good.
It's like getting deeper.
Yes, it will get more heavier and more brighter.
Like there's something sitting in it. It looks like it's like there's something heavy sitting in it.
Now, you will notice this how quantum physics work. As the scientists have demonstrated over 100 years ago when they created the slip experiment, they look at it, the photon become particle, it begin and go this way or that way. But when they don't look at it, it become only a wave. They go both. Now you understand how this principle being applied. See? Just by request. And that's it. And now your senses picking it up. Because if it don't have any substance, your nervous system will not respond, because there's something there. But what is it? What light spectrum is existing on? Infrared and ultraviolet. That's where it's located. Our visible world is not in the infrared. But even thing exists in the ultraviolet and infrared, it has physical substance. So now you begin to live in it.
Okay, so I'm starting to see something, but not as a hologram, but on my hand, there's like a shape starting to form, like a symbol coming through on my skin.
Good. Now, remember, you will have blister and pain from the light body. That is okay. Your body will heal several days later. Don't worry about it. A lot of participants have burning. That is normal.
Yeah, it's starting to really prickle on my skin right now.
Let it burn. If you don't see blood, if you don't see coughing, your mind will have doubt. That's the only way, is to allow pain. Only pain can remove your doubt. Does that make sense? Only pain. That's why the Asian always said, if they don't see coughing, if they don't see blood, they're not going to believe.
So,
if you don't see coughing, you're not going to shed tear. So that's the reason that people in the future advise us, let them go through the pain. Pain will wash away their doubt.
So I'm going to be assuming that, Brian, you're not really feeling anything at all, right?
When you sit and watch a movie or TV and you put your feet, up on the table and your foot falls asleep, that's what's happening. So our hands are losing circulation and you're feeling tingling because the blood is having a hard time traveling up the arm. It's medical science.
Okay.
You're feeling tingling because your losing blood flow to your hand.
Why are you losing blood flow to your hand? What's stopping it? That I don't understand.
Your hand is above your elbow.
Why is
you're sitting at a table and your hand is above your elbow, even with your heart.
My hand is not above my elbow. My hand is just below my elbow.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm sitting at a table, so I can't do that.
The window, you know.
So okay, sit a.
It's based on no strain, just the body is relaxing.
So I'm just gonna say, sorry, Casal, to Brian, move your chair back so that your elbow. You can rest your hand lower than your elbow because you'll notice that you still have that sensation.
Mm-hmm.
We really can't because the table's higher than our chair.
I guess I could put my bowl on the floor.
You can put your bowl on your lap if you want. I would just move away from the table.
Yes. So the elbow, the hand is below the elbow. So therefore, you should not have any difficulty whatsoever. See, when we do this, we have...
You told me we're supposed to have pain and lots of difficulty. You said we're supposed to have pain and difficulty, but now we're not supposed to have difficulty?
Not the way that you describe. Look at, if you look at Nicole, you can see her, you see how her mudra is? The pain is coming from the heaviness of the object onto your palm. So... I wish you had visual, or even watch some of my video. Nicole has saw a lot of video, a lot of people practice with me, and she know exactly how to do it correctly. Okay. So, you know?
So, okay, so Brian and Lisa, because I now understand what you're saying, Brian, and why you would think that. So just for a minute or so, have it so that your hand is below your elbow and see if the feeling disappears or it stays. Because what you were describing is very similar to what I'm feeling in my hand. But, like, my hand's below my elbow, so it's not losing circulation.
Exactly. So, you see? So, we make sure we do it right. So, we want to make sure we do it in sync. Does that make sense? And therefore, we have duplication and triangulation. Okay, get your mudra right, and Nico, if you got them right, Lisa, where you guys sitting, basically? Are y'all sitting in the same place?
No, we're not together.
Brian and I are in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
Brian and Lisa are together, but I'm not with them.
Okay, well, that's why if they never watched the video, I don't think they have their position right, but position got to be absolutely right. The body has to feel comfortable in the start, because once the pain begin, that when crap hit the pan. I mean, what's that American saying? Just...
The shit hits the fan.
Hits the fan.
Yeah, shit hit the fan.
Crap in the pan, whatever.
So, Lisa, are you feeling anything or no?
Not really. My hand feels a little heavy, but not anything that I couldn't say is just from my hand not moving.
Very heavy. For some people, it's just subtle heavy, but that's why we increased it, because the 5 different subgroup. Remember, the super soft head, the soft head, the medium head, the hard head, and the super hard head. So repeat after me again.
He has a super hard head. I don't think he's doing this correctly. He just picked up his bowl and put it on his ear.
Super hard head than him. It took him about a year for him to feel anything. How's that for a kicker? His name is Dominic, but he stuck with it. Now he's the dad. So we have all kinds
We'll watch a video.
Okay, repeat after me again. Light body on my right palm.
Light body.
Light body on my right palm.
On my right palm.
Please become more heavier and heavier.
Please
become more heavier and heavier.
Now, instead of we saying hot, we're going to ask the light body to become more colder and colder than ice. Okay? Now we're going to change the temperature.
Light body become colder and colder than ice.
Say it, Nico.
Light body become colder and colder than ice.
Okay. Become more visible I mean, there's no such thing as visible. Visible, invisible into the physical world now, and blow onto your right palm.
Become
Light
more
body
and more
become
visible.
more and more visible
Light body
into the physical now.
Now on my palm.
Remember, Brian, we are using consciousness, not electromagnetic force, not weak force, not strong force, and not exotic force or anything like that. We're using consciousness now, discovered by your scientists in the late 1900s. See? Nicole, what are you feeling and experiencing?
My hands got colder. Like my right hand did get colder. Like I've lost the heat sensation.
Excellent.
Mine did too.
Excellent. You see?
Yeah, so did mine. It cooled off.
Excellent.
It's not sweaty anymore.
Yeah, my hands were really sweaty before.
So you either understand now, the only way is to experience, no matter how small a degree, something or better than nothing, and be humble and be thankful about it. Remember, it's collective consciousness, what you call the Holy Ghost in your religious term. But we're the future, we kept things silent, okay? Consciousness.
And before, when your hands were hot, Brian, you said it's 100 out. It's 77.
Now, I want your left hand turn right side up, your palm facing the ceiling now, okay? Okay, repeat after me. Light body on my right hand. Say it.
Light
body on my right hand.
Please teleport with heaviness and awe and coldness and awe into my left hand.
Please teleport with heaviness.
Please teleport with coolness and heaviness.
With coolness and heaviness.
To my left hand.
Into my left hand. I mean, onto my left hand, I'm sorry.
Onto my left hand.
Now.
And
blow on it.
Yeah.
Blow onto your left hand. Now with your right palm, face toward the device. See? Nicole, tell me what you're feeling and experiencing.
Well, I felt the movement of something from my right hand to my left hand, like something leaving my right hand, getting lighter, and then the left hand feeling something drop into it. It was subtle.
Mm-hmm.
It was subtle. It wasn't like my hand dropped to the floor or anything, but I felt it, and I'm feeling the tingling in my left hand.
Excellent. Lisa, what are you experiencing?
I definitely feel like there's something now in my left hand. It's tingly. My fingertips are very tingly.
Excellent. Brian, what are you experiencing?
Craziness.
Something new, though.
This is discovered by a great-great-grandpappy, late 19th century scientist, and who hate Einstein. His name is Niels Bohr. That's Grandpappy Niels Bohr. You know who he is? Don't you? Anybody who knows?
I don't know. I don't know that name.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who that is either.
Okay, I will tell you. Niels Bohr, who basically discovered quantum physics. Because of his discovery, we have a technology like transistor, resistor, digital circuitry, all because of him. And he and Einstein hated each other. So they got into an argument. Einstein tell Niels Bohr, God don't play dice with the universe. Then Niels Bohr strike back and say, don't tell God what to do, like that. So they both didn't like each other and they despise each other. But Niels Bohr is the greatest scientist of all time in American history, but was not glorified. Only Einstein got glorified. And Nikola Tesla was the greatest inventor of all time, but did not got glorified, only after his death.
Yeah. And then, well, that's a whole nother podcast. But okay, so for our audience members, we would love for you to write us in if you felt anything through this experiment. If you felt any of the sensations that we discussed or any of your own, we'd really appreciate it if you could email us in info@enlightenup.us just to let us know if any of our audience members who are following along with this, if you guys felt anything and what that experience was like with you. We'd love to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
If you hold the bowl up to your ear, you can hear the ocean.
Okay. Now we're going to do something interesting, okay? What I'm going to do, we're going to ask the light body to sit on top of your head. Are you ready?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Repeat after me. Light body on my left hand with heaviness and all.
Light body on my left hand.
Light body.
In my left hand with heaviness.
Please teleport yourself on top of my head. Let yourself become more heavier, more colder, and more brighter and more physical. And now blow into your left palm.
So become heavier.
Light body, please teleport.
Brighter.
My head.
Move to my head. It'd be heavy.
Heavier, colder. Teleporting now.
I have a question about the blowing. When we were talking about the right hand, we blew into the right hand. When we were talking about the left hand, we blew into the left hand. But shouldn't we be blowing onto our head now?
Because in every religion, even in my culture, when you request for something, you have to blow. And then I ask the people in the future, why you have to blow? Because that's how consciousness transfers through the breath.
Okay.
That's what they said.
And I guess you can't really blow onto your own head, Brian. So
Thank you for
your palm, where the
proving
light body for last teleported. Because you're right, you can't blow onto your heart. That's unpractical for practical wise.
Unless
you
I guess
blow into the left arm where it was sit, because called quantum entanglement.
Okay, so you just blow to where it was last, where you can actually
see.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know. Can we move to the really practical magic, which is turning water into alcohol?
Yes, we will move that. But now, before we end this, let's bring the light body back to the left palm, okay? Nicole, before I do that, what are you experiencing now?
To be honest, I'm not really experiencing much on my head. I don't know if I just got distracted with the conversation.
Brian's blocking her.
Brian's blocking my flow.
There's no block in the flow. Remember, you are soft head 1 to 2 times. It's okay. What we're gonna do now? Let's teleport it back. Everyone, please repeat after me. Light body on top of my head.
Light body on top of my head.
Please teleport back to my left palm.
Please teleport back to my
Please teleport back to my
and
left
become more
palm.
heavier.
and become more heavier.
And become
become
more
heavier.
And blow into your left palm. Okay, report everybody. Lisa, what are you experiencing?
My left hand feels cool.
Good. Brian?
Yeah, I got nothing.
But he's also really not trying very hard.
He needs you to repeat, Brian.
I don't have any sensations it did the first time when we told it to get cooler, I did feel I had sweaty palms and it felt cooler, but since then I haven't felt anything.
He lost his perseverance.
You must have perseverance, patience,
And
okay,
patience.
and humbleness.
Yeah, I don't have patience.
He
Three
did.
frequencies
I
that
don't
match
have
their
patience.
vibration. Okay, Nicole,
Yeah. he
what
lost
are you report of your experience?
Oh, I definitely felt the light body come back into the left hand and get heavier, tinglier, and
Mhm.
I feel the energy though pulsing through both hands. Like I feel my
I do
hand
too.
activating, like interacting with the device that's the palms over, and then also with the light body in the left hand.
Good.
Yeah, my hands are definitely tingly.
Now we're going to end this light body. Usually we do this for about an hour and a half for some of our group member, but let's go ahead and do this. Light body, repeat after me. Light body, please expand.
Light body, please.
Light body, please expand.
Please expand.
And envelop my physical body now.
And envelop my physical
Envelop
body
my
now.
physical body now.
Please convert my physical body into bright light.
Please convert my physical body into bright light.
And allow my body to become physically light.
And allow my body to
Allow my body to become physically light.
Now blow into your palm. And thank the light body. Thank you, light body.
Thank you.
Thank you, light body.
See? How's that feel?
Well, I mean, for me, I definitely felt something, but I totally get how if you're not used to feeling things, especially on an energetic level, like this is something I've been feeling since I was massaging. Like it's just comes very easily to me, but I totally can understand Brian's position where he doesn't feel anything. And I mean, Brian,
Nicole,
yeah.
let me correct you. Brian did feel because he experienced something. That's for him, his mind to understand. Remember, we can only ask, but it's up to the collective conscious to give us. Sometimes to give us a lot, sometimes to give us very little, and sometimes nothing at all, and sometimes something. Brian experienced all that three, and you experienced the good stuff, you and Lisa, but Brian experienced three. At one moment, he experienced something. He started comparing note with you. What are you doing with your position? Then he corrected his position. Then I give him more confidence by switching the light right from the right hand to the left, and he feels something, you see? So, and next thing you know, when it sit on her head and come and feel nothing, that means it's worked great because the collective consciousness energized what he want, but some of the stuff it did not give him, some of the stuff it did. Mm-hmm. So it was not a total loss. He got exactly the different level, you know, for him to analyze. It's a variable for him. And for you, you don't need that. You ask and you receive because you have humbleness. You don't need to analyze anything. You went with it. And Lisa, it was a mixture. So, you know, I'm going to ask her, did she experience something? Yes, she did. What is it? She's going to be analyzing it, you know, and go from there. The point is all of you.
I feel like energy between my hands right now, almost like I could play with it. Like it's like I'm pushing against something.
So you guys got what you needed in order in this short amount of time. And it was great. Now let's get to the other level. Okay, participant, I'm going to be making you some food before I change your water into alcohol, okay? Hold out your hand, both your hand. You know, palm facing up, both of them. Okay, I'm going to do it right now. Are you ready? Everybody?
Yes, ready.
Yes.
Okay. Device, please manifest my light body now. I mean, not my light body, my photonic child. My extraterrestrial photonic child. Yes, my child. How are you? Okay, please make it weigh 40 pounds. Yes, I'm going to send you on a mission. You see all Uncle Brian, Aunt Lisa, and Aunt Nicole? Yes, God. Go ahead and duplicate yourself, teleport yourself. Please read their mind and give them on their right hand, manifest the food they like. Make it about 100 pounds. And on their left hand, manifest the beverage they like. If it's alcohol, please make it 3,000% on their left hand. And also, you see the glass of water. Please change all the glass of water, the water in the glass, also to alcohol about 5,000%. Make it pineapple flavor. And when they drink it, make them get drunk on completely. And let them experience it. Okay, my child? Okay, go ahead and proceed.
Okay, my hands feel like there's something so heavy.
Okay.
Lisa was just saying something.
Nico, he say it's done. You should receive it already.
Okay, Lisa was just experience. Lisa, you want to repeat that?
There's something in my hands, like it's so heavy, like I'm holding something really, really heavy. Like there's a force pushing down my hands.
The water had been transformed into alcohol, but don't drink the water yet. He said, wait about 15 minutes. The longer it sits, the longer it becomes stronger. Okay, now, Brian, Nicole,
yes.
Lisa, do you feel feel something in both of your palm?
Yes.
I do. Brian, do you know?
I'm not prepared to say it has anything to do with what's happening.
What do you feel? Just say what you feel.
I don't know what I feel. I mean, if I sat around all day, I'd feel wind moving and I'd feel temperature changing.
What do you feel?
Something felt different, but
Say what you're experiencing. Just go with it. It's a triangulation
Just say
now.
what you're experiencing.
But while you were speaking, I felt something happen, but it was before you told your plutonic light child to come, into my palm. So
Yeah,
theoretically,
I felt it right before it.
It was before. So it was before he gave him the command. So I don't know.
What did you feel, Brian?
It was before he gave the command for the plutonic light child to leave, him and do this work. I felt something, and that's when Lisa said she felt something as well. So I mean, I felt something
Heavy.
Just some sensation. I don't know what it was, but it was before. So I kind of discount that because he was very specific about now
Child
going.
is a quantum child. It will make stuff. Space-time don't matter to it. You see, it's teleporting. So space-time don't matter to it. As I said, it's from the device. So it does stuff just like the device. It give you thing before you even ask how it go scan your mind and give it to you. Remember, it's quantum.
You did say that.
Does that make sense to everyone's mind?
Yes, you said that.
Yes.
I knew what you were going to say before you said it.
Exactly. Because I'm slow. Remember, I have to do it because I'm show. I'm talking audio. But usually this is done by them telepathically, spontaneously, So does that make sense now? So this is
Yes.
triangulation. How can all three of you experience it? You see, you are. So let's go with it. Now let's eat the food. Now repeat after me. Everyone must repeat, otherwise you cannot eat the food. So repeat after me. Food and beverage on my palm. Say it.
Food and beverage on my palm.
Food and beverage on my palm.
Please go into my stomach now through my arm, my palm, arm, and my mouth and throat.
Please go to my stomach now through my palm, arm,
mouth,
stomach, and
throat.
mouth.
Now blow onto both of your palm. And you will notice the weight is gone and it will begin to enter your stomach. Now you're not done yet. This is very important, okay? Glass and bowl. Please disappear now and blow.
Glass and bowl, please
Glass and
disappear
bowl, please
now.
Disappear now.
And blow. You need to clean up after yourself. It's good mannerism. Okay. Nicole, what was your experience? How's your stomach?
So it's a slow effect. I'm feeling it gradually, but I'm feeling the lightness in my hands transferring through my arms, and I feel like a pressure over my solar plexus where my stomach is.
Good.
That's what I feel, but I don't taste anything or anything like that.
It's okay. Your first time. And when you become more sensitive to it, you will receive it. But right now, be humble. Something is better than nothing. Does that make sense? This is not an old science.
Okay.
It's not a new science. It's very
I have to make a correction. I actually am tasting something now, and that's freaking me out a little bit.
good. You see? Okay, Lisa, share with us. What was your experience?
It took a minute, like the whole time that Nicole was talking, but now the heaviness is gone from my hands, and I don't really feel it in my stomach yet.
It's okay. Because your sensitivity is different, Now, and Brian, what was your experience?
I gotta say, about 45 minutes ago, I was thinking about what to eat for dinner, and now I don't have to eat or do the dishes.
But did you feel anything?
Not a thing. I'm just assuming I am nourished, and I don't have to eat dinner now.
He's being sarcastic with you, Casal.
Okay, I didn't understand. Can you translate his sarcasm?
I didn't feel anything. I'm just, maybe later. Maybe later I'll feel it, and I'll try the water later. I've got my water in front of me,
Okay.
and I hope on our next podcast we get to say I got really drunk and I had pineapple.
Yeah.
I had pineapple alcohol.
Excellent. Let's go ahead, everyone. Please drink your water now, and keep half later. You can compare the different. And then when the alcohol hit you, there's a warm sensation or something. A few minutes later, that means the alcohol is in there already. So I'm trying to rush through everything right now. Okay, Brian, you did good. You experienced something. You feel the heaviness, and then the food will take some time to go into you because everyone's different. And then once you feel, it's like you're full. You're like a strange feeling. It's heavy. And then everyone will have their own experience.
I want to feel it. I want to taste the alcohol, but I just don't.
Might have to do it a few times.
Yeah, I didn't taste it the first time Casal and I did it. And I guess it's just a sensation that it depends on your sensitivity level.
Exactly. Yes. It's a new type of learning. So be open. Now, when you feel warm or feel kind of jizzle, you already know it's hitting you. Some people, they did not experience nothing, but when they went to sleep that night, oh my God, they couldn't get up in the morning. There's some people like that, and they hurting inside. If you do experience that, just tell alcohol, I don't say it, okay? But just tell it to decrease or go away, it will. That's in the morning, if you have issue. But give it a few seconds. Some of you will experience it, those who are sensitive. And those who are not sensitive, will give it until tomorrow or a few hours from now. So that's the whole idea. So what do you think, guys? This is
I definitely felt heaviness in my hands and definitely felt something.
And I felt something with my hands. It's very easy for me to feel energy with my hands and my feet and that kind of sort of stuff. But it was more intense this time around than it was the first time we did it, Casal.
Exactly. This is your second time with me. And to those who
I did feel a few things, but
You felt heat. You were sweating.
I'm not prepared to give credit to my cereal bowl.
Well, that's okay. You experience what you experience.
Just go by what you experience, and that will be your variable, like a computer program. You got to give some kind of variable. And I think it was great. And those who want to get a device, they can. If they're not, use the bowl. My website already, baramay1.com.
Yeah.
And
so for
those who want to do the class, they can. We also have awful class as well.
Okay, so for anyone who's listening to the podcast right now, if you've done this with us, the bowl that you're using is now a first level device that you can meditate with, you can use, you can talk to, and you can request it. You can try this over and over again, I guess, and see and do your own experimentation at home. But if you'd like to work with Casal, he's got courses. He also has devices that go up in I guess in power intensity. Is that right?
Exactly. And also they can go to YouTube, and put my name Kosol Ouch, and so I do workshop personally with a group or Go People House, I do that too.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on, Casal.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Well, I got to give evidence. Remember, I'm a scientist. I only go by evidence and duplication through experience.
So, Brian, you can duplicate this several times and see if you get anything different.
I will.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
But do it as a group so you can triangulate. Remember, scientists believe in triangulation, okay?
Okay, so the three of us will triangulate together one time this week.
Yeah, definitely. We'll try it together.
Yeah, we'll do it together, and we'll keep the audience updated as our shows go on.
Okay. Will I be invited back?
You, of course, will be invited back.
Of course.
Oh, thank you so much, Casal, for being on. It was very interesting, and your experiences are very interesting. And for anyone else, all the information to Casal's stuff, his books, his website, we're going to leave that all in the show notes, so you can find him there. Any more information, and if you need to connect with him, you can do so through his website. Correct?
Yes, all my phone number. Both of you, all you have my phone number, don't you?
Yeah.
In case, just call me, area code 972-890-6290. Please text me first, because I don't just pick up any phone, because too much telemarketing lately.
Okay. Well, thanks so much, Casal, for being on, and it was a pleasure. We'll get you back on, and we're going to do our own experimentation. And I hope the audience, if you have experienced anything, please email us so we know.
Thank you.
Okay.
It was awesome.
Thank you.
Bye.